Wisdom is found on the lips of the discerning, but the rod is for the back of those who have no sense. The rod is for the back of those who have no sense. So, mobile teacher, here we are in Proverbs 10:13, and we're talking about wisdom on the lips of the discerning. Discerning means being able to tell the difference. In a nutshell, you look at one thing and you look at another, and you can discern what it is, and you can compare also what it is to what it is not. And that helps us in everyday life. We can discern what is good and what is evil. Because we can discern the Word of God. See, that is our litmus test, is the Word of God. We base everything in our hearts. We base everything in our behavior. We base everything in our thoughts on the Word of God. We are wise when we can discern. If we haven't asked God for the gift of discernment, we should at least ask for discernment, common sense discernment in our lives, and pray for that. Lord, give me the discernment. Give me the discernment in this situation. You have two job offers, and one is a job that will last only for a short amount of time, but it will pay more. And another job doesn't pay as much, but it has more longevity. It's going to last into retirement. How do you navigate? Where are you in your life right now? What are your needs? Are you married? Do you have children? What's the necessity? What's the necessity of that situation? And, we have to discern everyday things, not just biblical things, not just, immense, incredible, difficult things in our lives, but also the mundane and the simple things in our lives. We have to discern them. When you have wisdom, you will be able to discern, and your discernment will be on your lips. Wisdom will be on your lips. And that means that you'll be able to speak the words that need to be spoken to move in God's will in those situations. Now, we're always talking about the flip side on Proverbs here. And we're talking about the rod, right? The chastisement, the correction is for the back of those who have no sense. Who have no sense. Those who just move by pure emotion. Those who move by hate. Those who move by greed. Those who have no sense. Have you ever met somebody with no common sense? They just seem not to be able to navigate life in general. Don't judge them harshly. God has already set forth in motion a proverb that tells us that they're going to get corrected, and we don't wish correction, harsh correction on anybody. So that behooves us as Christians, if we see somebody who seems to have no sense, to in love find a way to speak to them and share with them the discernment that we have, without belittling them, without making them look foolish, without condemning them, but being able to teach them. Jesus is our greatest example. The disciples, sometimes it seemed like they had no common sense. The things that they did and the things that they said to us surprised us, but we can be just like the disciples. And we could be just like the foolish young ruler, and we could be just like the Pharisees and the Sadducees. So we have to be really careful and use Jesus as our example. When he taught in love. He taught with the truth. And sometimes he had to say the hard things, and sometimes we will too. Our children, sometimes our grandchildren, they're going to make mistakes. And we're going to have to correct them, because the rod of correction is for those who have no sense. And we want them to learn in wisdom and to be able to discern. So let's share our discerning spirit that God gives us with those that need the discerning spirit. And let us also use that discerning spirit for the wisdom of God to manifest in our lives in the decisions that we make. Till next time, may the Lord richly bless you, mobile teacher